Blog Talk Radio.
On today's podcast, we will have former Chicago Bear DJ Moore in the studio. Moore was a star at Vanderbilt, an All-American in 2008. He was drafted by the Chicago Bears in the 4th round during the 2009 NFL Draft, where Moore spent 4 seasons as a Bear. He ended up signing with Carolina and Tampa Bay when his career started winding down. We'll talk about Moore's fight during the Bears and Lions game in 2011. We'll also go over his Super Bowl predictions and much more, starting now.
Training facility to the field with ability. Athletes are working hard, the progression is stressing. People are obsessing with the passion. It's the smell of the grass and the pain and the action, the focus, the passion, the thought of the plaque and the trophy all made out to your name. It's the money, it's the fame, it's the feeling to get when you're playing the game. What's the number on your back and the representing name? It's MJ playing way back in the day. It's glory, it's scoring. This is story. This is Sports Nation. It's been this way for generations. Pro Sports Extras, where I get my information. Athletes with their pursuits and endeavors. Sports will entertain the whole world. It'll be this way forever. And for more of that, we going live to Trevor, the expert.
How's it going, everybody? Happy Friday. Be sure to go listen to our podcast from last night as we had Gerald McRath, former Tennessee Titan, in the studio. Great interview there. But today we have a special guest once again. We have former Chicago Bear DJ Moore. DJ, how's it going?
Man, it's going all right. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. So, I just got about 10 quick questions we'll run over, and we'll just go from there.
Okay. All right.
First question. So, when did you actually start playing football?
Playing football, first, I guess, on a team was 9 and 10. We had like a little league down here. We was the Redskins. We had the Redskins jerseys and all that good stuff. So it was probably about 9 or 10. Well, no, I think I was 10, so it was a 9 and 10-year-old team though.
Okay. So growing up, I know you played multiple sports, but when did you realize that football was really the sport you were going to pursue?
Probably, I guess, my senior year in high school. I truly wanted to play basketball. Nothing about football. Well, I like football, but don't get me wrong. Basketball is like you inside, it's AC. You know what the temperature's going to be. You got to be outside in that Chicago cold weather. You got to be in Tampa in the heat. So, I truly wanted to play basketball, but I didn't get offered by a bigger D1 school, so I decided to play football. So I could have played, I think it was Davidson, Winthrop, like Coastal Carolina, schools like that. It was D1 schools, but they were just smaller D1. So and Vanderbilt and I think it was Kentucky and other schools that were a little more like, hey, you have a better chance probably if you play football. And I had planned on probably getting to school and probably walking on for basketball. But then once I got good, I said, hey, what the heck, ain't no need for it, I guess.
Yeah. All right. So, why did you really choose Vanderbilt? You know, you just kind of went over that it's more of a football school and whatnot, but why Vanderbilt?
They were the first school to, I think, D1 school to offer me. And what made it so sweet to go to Vanderbilt, my best friend, they came to see him play because they was going to offer him, and then they seen me too, and then they offered us both. So I not only get to go to school, but they get to go to school, you know, with your best friend was a unique thing.
Right.
So once I chose Vanderbilt, unless Florida State would have came out of the blue sky and offered me, but other than that, I mean, it was when you got your best friend somewhere with you, man. It's an easier transition because I think I don't know if a lot of people understand it, but transition from high school to college when you have to essentially kind of take care of yourself, grades, everything. So it's a lot, and then you got like 4 or 5 girls you're trying to get. So it's a lot. So it's easier when you got you got your friend there, and you ain't got to worry about your roommate situation and all that good stuff.
I was reading recently an article about you. They kind of just touched on when you were growing up. You know, you didn't have the greatest situation, but you've always worked really hard. Do you think the situation that you grew up in has a factor in why you were successful?
I guess to a certain degree. I think when life hands you, lemons sometimes, I mean, you got to try your best to make lemonade out of it. Make it sweet, put a little sugar on it, because sometimes life will feed you a bitter pill. But I think I would have worked hard no matter what. But I just think, well, when you see your situation, I mean, like, you don't want to be in this situation. You don't want to not have somewhere to sleep or not have something to eat. And football for me, I think, was just an outlet. But really, I just wanted to play. And it was more so, I think, not even me dealing with the situation, more so, my mom. Because as a kid, your parents shield you from a lot of stuff. Now I know what's going on, but I ain't got to worry about keeping the lights on the roof over here. I just got to worry about, going to school and coming back. Even though it's still tough being in that situation, it's not tough as it sounds, because your parents are kind of trying to shield you from most of it.
Right.
I mean, if it works or not, it is what it is, yeah.
Right. Okay, so let's fast forward a little bit. Let's go to the 2008, the Music City Bowl. Take me back to it.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was exciting. I mean, I knew it was my junior year. I knew I was leaving out of school. As a true junior, I just wanted to have a good game. It was our first bowl game since I think it was 82. So we were playing against Boston College. The game was going fine. Guy ran skinny post. I break it up. When I break it up, we catch an interception, but he falls on my ankle, and then I'm out, the rest of the game. And then the lady comes after and says, what are you going to do? You going to come back to school? I'm like, nah, I'm gone. So that was the last time I was on the field with Vanderbilt players and coaches. They was looking for me. What DJ, man? DJ in Florida training. But when I got injured, though, pretty much I couldn't train much. I just had to pretty much rehab the whole time. And then by the time I got healthy, it was a time for, the combines and pro days and things like that.
Right. Okay, so now take me back to the NFL draft. What was going through your head day one, day two? Really, at what point did you realize that the Bears were going to select you?
I was pissed, man. I think I went to a cookout, because I'm just thinking everything that I've seen in mock drafts with my agent telling me it's first or second round, pretty much no later than second round. My first team, All-American. I was considered like top 5 or like number 3 as a cornerback. So if you in that range, it's like a cornerback in the NFL, you going to go. You know what I mean? So, and I had to look out as well, because I knew I had ran a little bit slow. And when you're a little bit slower and short, that's not a good combination. At least they don't think it's a good combination. So as the first round went on, I'm like, that's cool. In the second round coming, I got a call. I think it was pick 42. The Broncos called me and said, listen, we're going to get you. We're going to get Alfonso Smith. I said, all right. When the pick come, they ain't get me. I said, okay, all right. So, boom, now I'm getting worried. Now I'm just getting upset, because I'm like, I'm seeing guys go before me that I'm like, man, I've put in my time. I've done, I've done everything that I've been asked to do. You know what I mean? I've in the best conference in college football. I've done this. I played against the best players. So it continues to roll on. I'm just getting, and more every time I see somebody get picked, I'm just getting more and more upset. So the third round come around, the Vikings call me. They're gonna pick me, or they're gonna pick, I think it was Asher Allen. He's from Georgia. Long story short, they didn't pick me. Now I'm really upset, because it's guys going at positions that, cornerbacks that you don't even know, like, where are these cats from? Like, did I say something? Did they see something? I don't know what it is. And now people calling you, it's like, oh, man, what's going on, man? Did something happen? So it's because everybody else is like, man, that's sad. So as it continues, and then I think it was pick maybe 99 or 100, and they called me like, well, if you're still there by pick 109, we're going to pick you. So I knew probably about 5 or 6 picks before, but I was just upset. honestly, because I just felt like I had done more. And what I don't think people realize, well, I guess they do realize, then, too, like the first and second round, you would average like $10 million, like guaranteed. But after that, it was a huge drop-off. Like, you could, if you got the first round, second round, you was almost set off, just off you just getting picked or whatever. So it was, oh, man, I was just upset. When they picked me, I was, kind of, I guess, relieved, but I was just upset, man.
Right. Do you, if you would have known, like, that you were going to be a fourth-round pick, do you think you would have stayed one more year at Vanderbilt?
Well, no. I was the number one cornerback in my class. And it's easy to look back on it because I think Joe Hayden was, like, number 2. So the next year, he even ran slow and still got picked in the first round and made, like, $45 million. And it's easy to look back and say, well, that could have been you, and it could have been or could have not been or whatever. But it was time for me to go. I was through with college, man, doing it for free. Seeing your jersey in the bookstore and all that stuff. So when I first got to school, I had told him, I said, man, you need to put me on a 3-year program because after 3 years, man, I'm gone. So it was time. But when you look back on it, it's like, man, that's $45 million he got. But I love the way it happened. I ended up, in Chicago. I think I ended up in the right place, right situation.
Right. Okay, so now, who's your favorite college? Well, obviously, I'm assuming growing up, your favorite teammate you already kind of went over. So in the NFL, who was your favorite teammate?
Earl Bennett. And it was a little bit overlap from when I was in college, and then once I got up there, he kind of took me under his wing, and I stayed with him until I kind of found a place. He made sure I was straight, made sure I had everything. He's probably the only player that I still talk to, to this day. So I talk to him quite a bit. So he was just real cool, and he went about everything, man. He just was a hard working cat. Didn't say much. He probably was the opposite of me, but whenever something was going on, he made sure to invite me to it. If it was something that he was making money with, and he could invite somebody, he would make sure he would call me. So he always, he always kind of looked out for me.
Right. Okay. So majority of your career, you spent the time with Lovie Smith. What kind of impact did Lovie have on your career?
Man, I think he changed my life. And it's not from a standpoint of just him being like I guess, because I never had, dad in my life, like a father figure, but it was more so him like not teaching me the game, but making me learn it. When I first got there, all I thought was, listen, tell me who to guard, and I'll guard him. Like, I know what I can't really do. I don't like to tackle, whatever. But if you tell me to guard him 7, I'm going to get you over 7 to 10 times, 7 to 8 times. Listen, I'm going to be on him, and we'll make something happen. But he made me really dig in and learn the ins and outs. What is the line doing? What is the offensive line doing? What are the offensive line blocking schemes? What is the quarterback looking at? How to watch film. I remember the first time, because when you play nickel with Love, he's a nickel coach. So when you go in his office, it's you and him. Imagine the pressure of you and the head coach sitting in the office every day, and he would tell you, hey, well, get on the board, draw this up. So our first day I come in there and draw it. I don't know. I didn't draw. I don't know to draw anything up. So next day I go to the house. I study everything. All right, I'm waiting on him to tell me to draw something up. Boom, he tell me don't draw anything. Now he just verbally speaking it to me. He want me to tell him what's happening without actually seeing it on the board or whatever. And then he'll ask you not only your position, hey, what's the linebacker doing? What the linebacker doing? Like, what? I thought you want me to know my stuff. And he essentially showed me, how to, be a coach. And I think it made me a better player. So when I'm out of the field, and I wasn't in, I'm a nickel, so I'm in probably 60% of the time. But I always made plays because I just knew what was coming, and couple that with just my natural instincts. It's just like if you, the smart man, is going to win the race, especially when you got to figure out a better way to get there.
Right. Okay. So now take me through the game against Detroit. I think it was 2011. when I think you guys were like killing the Lions. I'm pretty sure it was like 36-7 or something like that.
It was bad. It was bad.
It was. I'm a diehard Lions fan, so it sucks. But so Stafford throws an interception, runs up.
Are you okay?
What was that?
Okay, you're a Lions fan. Are you okay? I want to make sure you're okay. You know what I mean? Like,
man,
I know it's hard to do this interview when you're a Lions fan, man. It's
terrible.
Yeah, so keep going. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So anyway, Stafford, throws interception, ends up kind of pulling you down by the face mask. So what kind of happened? Was there anything leading up to that before in the game that happened, or was it just kind of in the moment thing? Did any apologies happen?
On both sides, I think it was just in the moment. For him, I can understand where he was coming from, and I'm assuming he can understand where I was coming from. But from his standpoint, he had threw a lot of interceptions. Every time he threw it seemed like he was padding the stats, man. Like, goodness for us. I mean, I think Peanut maybe caught one. I think Major Wright maybe caught one. At the end of the game, even when I went out, I think Corey Graham came in. He caught an interception. Like, he was giving it away. Tim Jennings, and then when you talking about when Tim Jennings caught the interception, it really was a no play because when Tim Jennings caught the interception, he was actually ruled down by contact. But as a defensive player, you just get up and run, and let the ref correct it or not correct it. So when he starts to run, and I'm going up to him, and I'm knowing he's not fast enough to catch Tim, because I'm not fast enough to catch Tim, so I'm not even worried about it. So I'm just really going to put my hand on his chest to really smile, because normally, even though you compete against players normally you want to tear each other's head up, but really you out there, you just talking to each other. You know what I mean? Like, you have conversations and stuff, and I'm going really to laugh, like, man, y'all having a tough one. And I put my hand like on his chest, and then all of a sudden he grabs my face mask, and I'm just trying to get him to get it out. And it seems like I had a feeling he was trying to hurt me or something, because you don't grab, you know what I mean? You don't grab people's face mask in the back of the helmet and try to twist it like that. So therefore, I just kind of went into defensive mode and was like, hey, he trying to hurt me. You got to kind of stand up for yourself. And in the great scheme of it, it's funny. It was my favorite play ever. So I went back at him, and it was probably the hardest I hit anybody, because I normally don't hit anybody. So, but wasn't really thinking. I'm on their sideline. I got DDT by Pettigrew, the tight end, and the reason it's my favorite play because you see all our players coming in. You see Peanut Tillman jumping to a pile of like 10 players. You see Adonijay doing the same thing. You see, the players coming to your defense, even though it's on their sideline and you outmanning our number, and it kind of showed what we were as a defense. The whole time we was there, offense may not have been good. It may have been up and down, but defense was always real good, and everybody knew what to do, and everybody had, each other's back, and I think that's what that showed. But it's fun. Well, now I coach now at middle school right now, middle school basketball. And even when I coached football for the high school a couple of years back, that's the only play they'll pull it up. I already know, like, Coach, what happened? Here we go again. So you got to explain to the kids, don't do that. That was wrong and cool a little bit. But if you get to the league, I said you get professional, you can do whatever you want to do. But until then, you got to play within the lines, I guess.
Right. All right, so went over the favorite team or your favorite game. What was your favorite team to play, actually?
Green Bay, and it was because of Aaron Rodgers. Like, you wanted to play against the best. I think everybody in the league wants to be considered the best. I never got an interception off of. I think I sacked him maybe once or something. But you want to have it like, hey, man, I got an interception off this guy and this guy, and you wanted to get it off the best players in the league. And I think he showed, that he was either not the best or one of the best players in the league. And it was impressive, playing him. I remember being at nickel, and he would look over at me, and before the snap, he would kind of smile and wink because he knew what we was in. We always played cover 2 and stuff. Like, he would have that type of, mentality or whatever. Even before games, he would come up to you, like, and you wouldn't think too much about it. He's like, man, he don't know me like that. Hey, man, hey, DJ, like he just knew you. Like, you turn around like, oh, what's up? Like, he was, like, real cool like that. So he was probably one of the coolest cats, you know, that I met probably in the league besides Urlacher was just real cool. But just especially, like, on an opposing team, like, to see, like, that confidence in his eyes, that snap and joke around like that, man, and be able to do his job is impressive. To watch it, man, it's impressive to, you know, to be a part of trying to stop it, too.
Yeah, for sure. Great quarterback, but I hate watching him.
Oh, yeah, man.
Go Lions. So, okay, so who do you have winning the Super Bowl this year?
I think, man, I'm going to tell you something. It's hard to just say right now because on the NFC side, they have so many really good teams. You got the Panthers and Saints. Either one of those teams can get on the hot streak and go with it. The Bills and Jaguars, I don't know. The Jaguars, to me, are really good. They got a young running back, and they got a good defense that's normally spelled recipe for success, especially in the playoffs when the weather is a little bit chilly at times. You got the Chiefs, who at the beginning of the season looked really awesome. And I know with the Chiefs, I know they're looking at, did the Bears offer, they're interested in their offensive coordinators, and that may be a thing because their offense at the beginning of the year would dump it down. Alex Smith, he was dumping it deep. And then also you got the Falcons and the Rams. You don't know which Falcons. You don't get the Falcons team for last year before the Super Bowl, or you're going to get the Falcons team from last year after the first half in the Super Bowl. Because if you get the Falcons from the first couple rounds, it's just tough to compete, you know, with that. And then you got the Eagles, but their quarterback is out, so I'm gonna say Eagles no. I think the winner out of the Saints and Panthers will make it to the Super Bowl. So whoever wins that game will make it to the Super Bowl. And then on the other side, I guess you have to really pick. You have to say New England or the Steelers. I think you almost have to.
Right.
Really. Who? I guess the Jets. You know what? I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go Jags on it. I just want to be different. I'm gonna go Jags with it. I think they're gonna put it together. I'm gonna just go Jags. I'm gonna just do it.
I'd be completely fine with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go Jags with it. I just don't want to see the Patriots in the Super Bowl again. They love them so much. I'm like, oh my God, they good, but I just, you know, when they talk about it and Brady this, Brady that, and it's just too much, man. It's just too much.
Oh yeah, feel you there. All right, so what moves do you think Chicago should make this offseason?
I think they're going to have to get, you know, depth at the wide receiver position. I don't know if you don't know if Trubisky was bad or if guys wasn't open or what it was. But I think the caliber of receiver, especially since I've been going with some other players have been going, I mean, the caliber of receiver seems to be going down. Alshon, who went to the Eagles, is doing really good. So they got to get some of those young receivers to step it up. But also I think they got to get, like I said, probably a coach like the guy, you know, from the Chiefs or the offensive coordinator from the Eagles or some young offensive-minded guy that can get different players involved, that can get, you know, Howard at the running back or is it Tariq Cohen?
Yep.
Is that his name? Yeah. Find a way to utilize him like a Darren Sproles, like, you know, have him coming out the backfield. You could imagine a guy like him on the Patriots or maybe on the Saints, he would be deadly. But on the Bears, it's just like, he got to make something out of complete nothing. And if you give those guys just a little bit, let them be one-on-one. You know, don't let them have to break 9 or 10 tackles. The defense, I think, is going to be fine, depending on who they pick for the offense. I mean, the coach, depending on who they get, you know, defense side. But they got some defensive pieces. You know, Fuller and Amukamara stepped up, played really good at times at corner. The safety, the young are pretty good. You're always going to have a rich, you know, tradition of having linebackers, and those guys are playing well. The defensive line is good. So the defense, I think, can hold their own. You get the coach in, you know, with a philosophy, they'll be fine. But the big thing is, hey, man, what are you going to do to bring in somebody to develop this quarterback? Because right now, it's confusing. Like, is he good? Is he not? Is he the guy you seen at the end of the preseason, or is he the guy that you seen pretty much all season? You know what I mean? It's like, what is it? Like, everything was simple.
Right.
You know, roll out, quick passes, quick this, quick that. He's getting sacked. He can't read this. He can't read that. Now, we know in college he didn't start a lot of games. But, you know, you would think at the end of the year when you're out of the playoffs, you would kind of open it up and kind of see what the kid can do. But right now, it's a mystery. It's almost like he's going to be a rookie. Even though he's played, it's just like, not like saying he's a rookie, but like you don't know what you have. And hopefully he ends up like Carson Wentz and Jared Goff, because if you struggle 2 years in the league, people get rid of you. Or if you struggle 1 year with the Browns, they'll try to get rid of you, but that's the Browns. It's a whole nother subject.
All right. So I was looking around YouTube a little bit. I noticed you have your own channel up. Can you tell everyone a little bit about that?
Well, I don't know what it is on there because we're about to switch it up next week. We're going to do like a Skype live thing where you can see us both and post that. I think he may post it on the podcast too. Me and Chris Shanafelt, one day a week on Sundays. And the reason I did that, I contacted him because I did interviews with him like when I first started. I remember being in a restaurant with him. We did interviews, I think, when he was back in school doing it. And I was like, I want to do like a 1 week show. And I really want to do a lot of different sports and a lot of different areas and demographics. But I wanted to make sure, we hit home with Chicago. I'm down here in Spartanburg, South Carolina. And the only time I get to see Chicago and do something, it's just watching the game. So I wanted to give back to, the team that gave a lot to me. And I wanted to kind of stay connected, in that way because I'm down here and I don't get down there very often. It's once a week. We're going to start, I think we're going to do it live. Probably going to be on, it's a Ecamm software that allow you to Skype it and you'll do it live and we'll talk that way and just post it live on Facebook and probably have a YouTube channel for it. So that'll be once a week on Sunday and that'll be 9, I think, Eastern to 11. We'll just talk sports from the previous week and we always kind of hit on, what the Bears are doing and hopefully, by Sunday or something will happen with the coaching or they have it narrowed down and we'll talk about that. And, so it's a lot of different areas of sports and a lot of you always got to break down the quarterback in Chicago, man. So it's a lot of good content, man.
Yeah. Okay. So be sure to go check that out, guys. 2 more quick questions. So this is something where we've been asking athletes now. It's kind of like an in or out segment. Like, would you want him? So in or out, Roger Goodell, do you think he's a good NFL commissioner?
Man, you know what? I think when I played, I might have had harsh words for him, but really, I think he's doing his job. He's doing what the owners asked him to do because he don't work for the players, which he should. I think a good commissioner would be the in-between between the owners and players. But when the owners make billions and billions, when they make billions and billions of dollars and they paying you so much, because to me it's like, well, and I know they was like, oh yeah, well he's bringing more revenue to the league. No, the league is just the league. It's going to make money. You gonna add channels, and eventually if they keep getting overflooded, they probably got to take a couple channels away. But he get paid a lot. He get paid a lot of money to be the commissioner. Listen, you call me, I'll be the commissioner. I'll be just like him. Look, what you doing? Hey, get him out the league. Get him. Bye. You know what I mean? Like he get paid so much, but I think he has to understand and just use his head sometimes. But it's also hard because you got social media, and when somebody does something, the cry is so loud to get them out of things that, you kind of have to do it, because if you don't, it's going to be a lot of backlash for it. And if there's backlash for it, well, guess what it is? It's bad for the league, and you're not doing your job as commissioner as he kind of sees it. So sometimes you got to overcome and say, now like the, what's his name? Zeke Elliott situation where the girl was lying, or they had her saying like, hey, I'm going to ruin your career, like knowing that this is what it takes to get you took out again. When you know you have that evidence, you cannot do that to a kid. Now, even though he had the instances where he was having fun and pulled down the girl's shirt, listen, If you pulling out girl shirt and they want you to, ain't nothing wrong with it. Now, if they don't
Right.
want you to, listen to me. Listen. But if they want you to, that's just a whole different thing. And a lot of people, man, have a good time. A lot of people have a good time in this. I know I had an awesome time. So I just think sometimes he's going to take it a little bit overboard, but sometimes I think he kind of has to, because he's going to say he's protecting the shield. And the people around, like the players, are going to doubt it and be mad about it, but he's doing it for the people who are actually paying for the games. And people coming paying for the games don't want to see you hit your wife, so you ain't going to play. You know what I mean? So
Right.
And that's kind of what it boils down to. And that's probably probably the biggest issues, probably with the kneeling thing as well, which is just, like, it's right. Like, if you're a human, you should understand what the process is. But then also, when you look at it from the standpoint of the commissioner, when people are crying out like, hey, man, I need you to respect this and this, and they don't understand it or whatever, you're going to have a dilemma, and that's pretty much what you had, all year. And I'm assuming that next year, well, either they're going to figure it out or make cleats for it or something. But that's probably one of the biggest things that after this season is over, with figuring out how they're going to deal with that going forward, because either it hurt the league this year, what it seemed like, or it was something else. But it seemed like that conversation itself kind of, hurt the league and its brand a little bit, having to hear that conversation, day in, day out.
All right, DJ. Well, that's about all the time we got for you. Thank you so much for hopping on here. Definitely would love to get you on again. Be sure to check out his shows Sunday mornings. Once again, thank you, DJ.
Sunday night, 9 to 11.
Sunday night. There we go.
DJ show. I don't know what's Chris Shannafelt. I don't know what his Twitter handle. Mine DJ 130. So follow me, and then I can direct you to him too. So we'll be live. Check us out, man. Tell me what you think. Send some questions and all that good stuff.
All right, sweet. Thank you again.
Mhm.
All right, guys, that's about all the time we have. Be sure to check out our podcast tomorrow as Austin Smith and I go at it. Thank you again, DJ Moore. Great show, guys. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes, subscribe on Blog Talk Radio. Be sure to check us out at prosportsextra.com. Peace.